What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So I'm looking at this game right now between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Right now it's Clippers 13, Denver 8, 6:45 to go as I'm speaking. And I want to do a video talking about Russell Westbrook while I'm simultaneously watching this game. And before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to Aram for his contribution to the channel. Thank you a lot, Aram. In your note, you asked me, will I be updating my nice move by Jokic? You asked me, will I be updating my top 10 list by position by the NBA? And I think it's about time I do that, man. You know, the last time I did that was, I think it was 2013, 2014. So it's about that time that I update that. So yeah, that will be coming. I might try to wait until the season is about to come to an end before I do that. But I got to focus on Russell Westbrook, man. And right now, of course, he's being murdered, man. He's being murdered on social media, you know, by the media. I mean, I can't blame them, really. You know, I cannot blame them. One of the things that myself and other Russell Westbrook fans knew is that coming over and playing with James Harden, it's kind of a lose-lose situation for Russ anyway, and that they would have to win. Like, literally, they would have to at least, in my opinion, make it to a finals to calm down and quell the Westbrook hate. Because even if Westbrook, let's say yesterday it was reversed, and Westbrook had 40 points, right, on, let's just say 14 or 28 shooting, and James Harden went 1 and 18 from the floor, turned the ball over everywhere, you would still have people saying, well, the reason why James Harden is struggling because Westbrook is hogging the ball. I mean, how can you get going? Westbrook is hogging the ball. So it's like no matter what he does, there are going to be some people who just don't like him and they're going to criticize him anyway. I mean, it is what it is. There are certain things that you can't take away from him. You can never say that he doesn't bring intensity. You can't say that he doesn't bring playoff intensity. He plays hard. He still achieves something that is historic, and that is not only averaging a triple-double for a season, but doing it for 3 consecutive seasons. That still takes more than luck. It still takes some type of skill to be able to do that. Okay, you can say it's a combination of him, you know, the system and taking rebounds from Steven Adams and being selfish. That's all fine, but he still did it. You know what I'm saying? He still did it. You know, I don't hear people getting on Luka Doncic for stat padding. I don't see people getting on LeBron James, you know, other than a few, for him stat padding, which almost cost the Lakers a game the other day. But the media didn't say anything about that. But then again, when you have a couple championships, people give you leeway. So, look, I've always said that I've always given reasons why I think Russell Westbrook is disliked. I've tried to be scientific about it. You know, the fact that he looks like baby Mike Tyson. I told you about the hoodie thing. If you put a hoodie on Russell Westbrook, he looks threatening. If you put a hoodie on Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, you know, Dame Lillard, they may not look as intimidating. Well, even when I was looking for photos of Russell Westbrook do this video, all of them have him mean mugging or looking wild and agitated and, you know, in histrionics like he's some human Tasmanian devil. You know, there's a lot of different aspects as to why he's disliked, you know. But at the end of the day, Russell's adding to it himself, okay? He's contributing to this shit himself. So I can't sit here and just put it on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I will say this, though. People are forgetting that Russell Westbrook was just coming off of an injury. And this is a guy that not that long ago was dealing with the coronavirus, right? Now, he's not the only guy to have dealt with the coronavirus and has recovered. Donovan Mitchell had it, okay, and recovered. Although I think Donovan contracted it earlier. You know what I'm saying? Him and Rudy Gobert. And they went through what they went through. So I'm just putting that out there. I haven't really seen anybody put that angle out there. But, you know, he wasn't physically what he was before. He wasn't physically what he was before, resumption of play. So he has been dealing with injuries, and he has been dealing with a virus that has killed nearly 200,000 Americans since really March. Okay? So, not making excuses for him, but I just noticed that, a guy like Steph Curry, the media loves to hand him with kid gloves. He's too little, he's too small, he's too frail. He's not really that big. He's not the best one-on-one ball handler. As to why when he shows up short in moments at times. But, it is what it is. Whatever. I'm not going to go down that route. At the end of the day, it's on Russell Westbrook because he amplifies everything that people say about him. He's been doing that this entire series, okay? It's easy to bait him into doing things that are his weaknesses. All you gotta do is talk shit to him and say, you can't fucking shoot. Russ, you can't fucking shoot. Oh, really? I'm gonna show you, motherfucker. He'll fire up 7 bricks in a row until he makes one, then talk shit, saying, you can't stop me. Meanwhile, the lead then went from Rockets by 1 to the Lakers up by 11. And Russ is the only one that don't care about the scoreboard. He cares too much about proving that he can't be stopped. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of, it's like rooting for, I'm telling you, man, it's like rooting for Mike Tyson at the end of his career. Well, I mean, look, man, if Mike just get his head together and get his life together, man, got real serious with his training, you know what I'm saying? He's got his head into the ring and, he stopped doing all this dumb shit and got serious. Man, he could be champion again. All these what ifs, couldas, wouldas, shouldas. I did it. And I'm doing it with Russ. But I can't be doing that shit all the time, man. Reality is reality, man. I don't know. At this point, these are the realities. Russ, the reality is that people perceive you as a head case. They think you got an anger problem. They think you're a detriment and a cancer to teams. You can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? And that's important in today's NBA. And, you're inefficient. And you have a low basketball IQ. You do dumb shit out there. And it's not just you, okay? It's not just you. That's one thing I noticed is that a lot of people are piling up heavy on Russ. James Harden is the leader of this team, okay? That's his team. James Harden, yeah, he had 30 points, okay? But he had to work hard for those 30 points, and he consistently does not dominate in the playoffs, okay? Some of it's on James Harden. A lot of it's on Mike D'Antoni. A lot of it's on these other guys. They got to really blow up this team and make some changes. I think personally that they're going to at least change. They're going to at least try to trade Russell Westbrook. They might trade everybody. They might just totally rebuild. And by that, I mean they might fucking not only just fire Mike D'Antoni, they might fire Daryl Morey and totally just clean house. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're going to do. But these are the realities. And that's why I said in the Ticket Show the other day that I think that they might, I said the other day that's why Russell Westbrook might be out the league in a couple of years. 'Years. Man, this fucking idiot talking about Russell Westbrook. Look, 'Cause 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 ' These are some of the realities about the NBA and sports. Allen Iverson at age 25 had a remarkable run in 2001, right? He had a remarkable run in 2001 with the Philadelphia 76ers. And it was expected that the Sixers would be, if not champions, they would be powerhouses in the Eastern Conference for many years to come. That didn't happen. The very next year, the New Jersey Nets, who in 2000, 2001, I believe only won 25 games, traded, in essence, Stephon Marbury for Jason Kidd, right? And they went from 25 wins to 50 wins, and they went to the NBA Finals. No one expected them to do that. No one was projecting them to do that. They went to the NBA Finals, in fact, 2 years in a row, 2002 and 2003. At the same time, you also had the emergence of the Boston Celtics for a brief period of time. You know, with Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce, that little run of the team. Then, of course, later on, you had the big three, the more dominant team with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen, and Rajon Rondo, which actually won a championship. At the same time, you had the emergence of, I'm talking about Eastern Conference now. You had the emergence of the Detroit Pistons, who won a championship in 2004. Okay? You had the emergence of, a reemergence of the Indiana Pacers, who possibly could have won a title in 2005 if it wasn't for the Malice at the Palace. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, you had the rise of LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers throughout the decade. So all of a sudden now, the Sixers, who many people had high hopes for, Allen Iverson, who was the most popular player of the young generation, they were a mediocre to bad team now. And ultimately, then all of a sudden people saying, well, can AI win? You know, he never again made it to the NBA Finals. In fact, I don't think he ever again made it to a conference finals. You know, then he was still putting up good numbers in 2008 and 2009, but he was out the league by 2010 because the perception was that, you know, he was a detriment to the team. He was diminishing as a player, and why take a risk on him? He ended up playing in China, I think, for a couple years, and then he retired. Remember what happened to Tracy McGrady? Injuries, wasn't the same guy. Had a reputation for being a perennial playoff underachiever and loser. Ultimately was, I don't want to say forced out of the league, but his lack of opportunities forced him out of the league, plus injuries. So, yeah, there's a precedent there. That's why I said Russell Westbrook, when you look at the fact that this is a shooter's league, right? You don't really have guard. This isn't the Monta Ellis NBA anymore. Like, athletic two guards that can drive the basket and dunk, but don't have much of an outside shot. You don't see those guards anymore. You know what I'm saying? But you got Russell Westbrook, who's had multiple injuries, has had multiple surgeries recently, is on the wrong side of 30, and you could see that he's diminishing physically with his athleticism. Plus, you have what's going on right now. Tonight and right now, or today, and right now, is the low point of Russell Westbrook's career. Right now. And you look at the fact that he's owed still $131 in the last 3 years of his contract. This is a guy that's diminishing and has a reputation for basically, in the playoffs, choking. I mean, no, I don't even know that's a strong enough word. Imploding. Yeah, it's possible. He could be out in the league in a couple of years. I've been thinking, I don't know. I think Russell Westbrook needs to reinvent himself. I remember Ron Harper was a star in the NBA. I don't know if I would say superstar, but he was an all-star in the NBA in the late 80s, early 1990s with the Cavaliers and the Clippers. But then injuries derailed his career. You know, he was an offensive star, easily could put up 20 points a game back in that era. Today's NBA, he probably could put up 25 points a game. But injuries robbed him of his quickness and his explosiveness. So then, you know, he began to change his game. You know what I'm saying? He focused on becoming a shutdown defensive player and one-on-one defensive player and a great help defender. And Ron Harper became that. He worked on his leg strength. He worked on his defense intensely. And if you remember those Chicago Bulls teams, he was pivotal for those championships. You know, they don't mention him a lot, but Ron Harper was pivotal. But, you know, the difference is Ron Harper was a team player. He had high basketball IQ, even though people like to make fun of the fact that he stuttered. He was a very intelligent guy. Russ, I don't know so much. But that's one thing I could look at, you know. Maybe Russ should be like checking out his game right quick. I don't know, man. Maybe Russ can reinvent himself as as a defensive guy, man. You know, a defensive player, you know, still strong, still a threat in transitions. I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is for Russell Westbrook at this point in time. All I know is that it's very frustrating to be a fan of his because you have to really stretch the boundaries of reality to make defense to defend him. You know what I'm saying? I gotta use every, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be a keen politician, you know, and a spinster to defend him and shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to using the coronavirus to defend him and shit, man. I don't know, man. The shit with the fan though, man. Apparently it was Rondo's brother that he was arguing with. I mean, I don't know, man. Look, I know it's quieter. I know he was probably frustrated and shit, but it's just not a good look, man. It just. This isn't the first time he got into it with a fan. Now, the fan in Utah, I think it was, yeah, that motherfucker need to be banned forever for what he said. Okay? I get it. I like the fact that Russ got that, you know, that mentality like, he don't take no shit. You're not going to say anything you want to say to me, blah, 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 blah. But sometimes that shit can be detrimental to a team, man. Like, fuck that fan, man. That fan's a fucking loser. Russ, you a fucking multi-millionaire. Okay? Why do you give a fuck? You're a multi-millionaire who's playing a game for a profession. Most people hate their goddamn jobs, man. Most people that I know, they absolutely hate their fucking job. You get to play basketball as your job, man. Okay, the only thing you gotta deal with is intense media scrutiny. Don't read that shit. Don't watch television. Just don't do that shit. Stop listening to what these people say, and you'll be fine for the most part. Okay, you gotta deal with the media. Those guys are annoying. They're not your friend. Answer their fucking questions. And you know what I'm saying? Just keep it cordial with them. But I don't know, man. But I'm gonna end this video on this note though. that blackballing shit is for real. They will do that. Politics is involved in sports. People got to remember that sports, it's politics involved, and you know what I'm saying, it's a business. I remember Barry Bonds, his last year in Major League Baseball, when he was in pursuit of breaking Hank Aaron's home run record. And they used to cut away from programming. Whatever it was, they would cut away from programming, even if they had to do a split screen. And they would show Bonds as at-bats as he was getting close to it. And they got a lot of ratings off of that. I still remember that game. I think it was like early August of 2007 when he finally passed Hank Aaron. I want to say it was like August the 6th or the 8th or something like that. 2007 when he passed Hank Aaron. Right? And they got all these ratings and they talked about him and they'll just make him the greatest and all this shit. Next fucking year, he was blackballed from Major League Baseball. Or whiteballed. Completely whiteballed. Barry Bonds did not have any interest in retiring. That's why he was so angry at Major League Baseball for so long. That's why he stayed for like a pariah. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted to keep playing. And the big speculation at that time was, you know, should he join the Yankees? Because the Yankees wound up winning the World Series, I think, in 2009. We're talking about 2008. Now, if you put Barry Bonds, yes, granted he was 43 going on 44, but shit, if you play for the Yankees and you just a DH, he switched to the American League, he can just DH, and they got that short right field porch, and you talking about a left-handed hitter like Bonds, he could have easily hit 40, 45 home runs playing with the Yankees. But because he was tired, connected to steroids, and they was trying to get away from that shit and clean up their image, they used him for his money. You know what I'm saying? When I say his money, I mean the money that Major League Baseball made off of him that year. And they said, thanks for your services, but we don't want you in the league anymore. And it's fucked up. Because all those players are underpaid anyway. When you look at how much money Major League Baseball makes, how much money the NFL makes, and I got to do a video about them too. I'm probably doing Patreon. Because I heard today that those fans were booing that moment of silence for the victims of racial injustice. That's why I don't watch that shit. You want to know why I don't watch it? It's because of that shit right there. Okay? Fuck those fans. And fuck Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all these leagues make so much money, man. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? These players should be, the top players should be billionaires. But that's another video, another topic, man. I just think that Russ is probably going to be gone, man, after next year. I don't know where. You know, I don't know if anybody's going to pick up that contract, but I think he's going to be gone, man. But tell me what you guys think.